Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys a recap of day 5 of the Washington football team's training camp. We'll be talking about some of the takeaways from today, some highlights from today's practice. I'll give you guys an injury update, and we'll talk about Ron Rivera's comments during his press conference and much more. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm almost at 6,000 subscribers. It would really mean a ton if you guys could help me get there. So let's get right into the video. So we will first start out with some highlights from today's practice. We got some good ones, so make sure you guys watch all the way through. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I hope you guys did enjoy those highlights. Now let's get into a recap of day 5 of the Washington football team's training camp. And sorry I wasn't able to do one for day 3 and day 4. I was on vacation, but I am back, and the daily recaps will continue from now on. So let's start off with an injury update. So Jonathan Allen and Jamin Davis both didn't practice today. They both did attend practice though. Jonathan Allen is dealing with a hamstring injury, so it should be fine. He's day to day. And then Jamin Davis is dealing with an eye infection, and because a lot of the players are on the reserve list because of the virus, Daron Payne, Matt Ioannidis, we got some other guys, getting some opportunities at that defensive tackle spot. So we'll see if some other guys do end up stepping up. So let's go through today. So, DeAndre Carter has had, a couple really good practices, and, he's pretty quick, and he can, be your punt returner and kick returner. So if he continues to, show out and impress during these practices, he could end up making the roster maybe as the 7th receiver. I don't really see him making it over someone like Kelvin Harmon or AGG. I think one of those two will make the 6th receiver spot, but they might want to keep a 7th guy for that punt returner spot, plus some added depth. So it could be someone like Dax Milne, it could be someone like DeAndre Carter, and maybe Steven Sims. I doubt it, but he is still possibly in the mix. But DeAndre Carter, like Steven Sims, has some fumbling issues as a returner, and I'd rather just have someone who's safe. And Danny Johnson did take some punts today, which is good, interesting. I think that he could end up being the punt returner. He did some caught a few punts last year and was our kick returner. So, if he could do both of those roles, he could sneak in on the roster as one of the last cornerbacks to make the team. Some other interesting things. AGG had a pretty good day today. Had consecutive impressive catches according to Rhiannon Walker from The Athletic. 2 impressive catches along the sideline. First one was on the left sideline on a comeback route, and second was a back shoulder catch, and he dragged his feet to complete the catch. So really good to hear that AGG is playing pretty well in training camp. Harmon also is playing well. So it's good to see that they're both pushing each other, making each other better. And let's see, we have preseason coming up pretty soon. Let's see who looks better in the actual game action. So we'll see. Benjamin St-Juste was covering AGG and had solid coverage, but AGG was able to jump up and make the catch. So good to see AGG progressing. Honestly, I've heard really good things from almost every single receiver on the roster, except obviously Curtis Samuel. I mean, Terry's been doing really well. De'Ami Brown's looked good. AGG, Kelvin Harmon, Cam Sims, a bunch of Adam Humphries as well. I mean, a lot of these guys have looked really good. And Khaleke Hudson, with Jamin Davis out today, Khaleke Hudson was getting some work with the first team. So you know me, I've been high on Khaleke Hudson for a while now. I think he's going to have a really good year this year. We'll see, where they play him because, Ron Rivera did say he could play their, big nickel, Buffalo nickel position. But he's getting some work at linebacker this week, especially if Jamin Davis's eye continues to linger, his eye issue. So we'll see. I really like Khaleke Hudson. He's a really versatile player, provides some position flex, which of course we all know that Ron Rivera loves. So he has a chance to make a big impact this year. I thought he played pretty well in the 2 games that he started last year. So let's see if he can continue that this training camp and into the preseason and the regular season. So now real quick, we'll go play by play and then talk about some of Ron Rivera's press conference. So, they have been splitting the running back reps out a lot. Not sure why. Ron Rivera did say, though, that Antonio Gibson's injury, his toe thing, is fully healed. So probably because they really don't know who they want to keep as, that other running back besides Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissic. So that's probably why they're giving more snaps to Jarrett Patterson, Lamar Miller, and Peyton Barber. So Lamar Miller had a nice run. He's been playing pretty well in training camp. And Jarrett Patterson has looked pretty good as well. So, going to be interesting to see that battle right there. Yeah, Jarrett Patterson looked good as well. So that's good to hear. And then Zach Selby also said, I've noticed how good Dax Milne is at catching passes away from his body. I've heard he has nice hands, but it's nice to see him stretch and bend to make receptions. It's going to be tough for him to make the roster. But he could make it if he does, continue to impress on special teams. If he, becomes that punt returner, he definitely could make the roster. But he's a lock to make the practice squad if he does, clear waivers. So, Fitzpatrick's main targets so far have been Humphreys, McLaurin, and Thomas. But he's been, spreading the ball around. So that's good to hear. Gibson had a great run, and I haven't heard much from Gibson, and it's probably because they're splitting the reps around, but it's good to hear that, he's had a good training camp so far. And man, Montez Sweat and Chase Young, I've only heard great things about those two so far in training camp. They've been working the tackles, especially rookie Sam Cosmi, but it's good practice for Sam Cosmi. He's a rookie, he's raw, so you're going to struggle against really any NFL edge rusher early on, especially during training camp, but especially against these two. But I think eventually he will start to get it together, and I heard he had a really nice play, blocking play today. So the punt returners today were Dax Milne, DeAndre Carter, Sims, Isaiah Wright, and Danny Johnson. So we'll see who wins that battle right there. Keith Ismail getting some first team reps, and Ron Rivera did say a few weeks ago that he's going to be, or maybe even more, that he's going to be, spreading the reps around, making sure that everyone gets some first team reps so that if they do have to come in because of some injury, they are ready. And then Heineke, didn't have a great day today. Apparently, he threw 2 passes that should have been picked, but Cole Luke and Jeremy Reeves both dropped them. But then he had a really nice strike later on to DeAndre Carter. I think it's a 25-yard touchdown right there. Landon Collins, keeps impressing, which is very good to hear. Man, he could be in the running if he has a really good year this year for comeback player of the year. But that could go, obviously, to someone like Derwin James or Dak Prescott. But he definitely has impressed, and it's good to hear that he's back because, having Matt Ioannidis and Landon Collins this year, if they're fully healthy and what they were, Matt Ioannidis like last year and Landon Collins a couple years ago, this could be an even more special defense than it already is. So now let's get into some of the takeaways from the press conference real quick. I also forgot to talk about Kyle Allen and his ankle injury. He's dealing with an ankle injury and is kind of day to day, so we'll monitor that, but that does not bode well for him if he wants to somehow compete for a starting spot or even a backup spot. That is likely out of the window now, especially with this ankle injury, but we'll see. He still has a lot of time today, and Rivera mentioned how Fitzpatrick is getting more comfortable, so that's good to hear right there. He also said that Cole Holcomb is having an excellent camp. You saw the potential last year, but it's really played out over the past few days. And I'm a huge Cole Holcomb fan. I think he had a very underrated season for the Washington football team last year. Really improved in his coverage from year 1 to year 2. So let's see what he can do in year 3. Hopefully he is fully healthy, because it was unfortunate that we missed him for those first 5 games. Last year, Rivera talked about he knows that Gibson is capable of working well as a pass catcher. I really hope Scott Turner incorporates him a little bit more this season as a pass catcher, because last year they really didn't use him too much in the passing game, at least not as much as I thought they should have. And yeah, so he also talked about, the defense has been rolling through a lot of different combinations in the secondary. You got Landon Collins and Cameron Curl at safety. They'll put Cameron Curl and Bobby McCain, Landon Collins and Bobby McCain, and sometimes even Jeremy Reeves. I think DeShazer Everett is still on the non-football, or he's on some list right now, so I don't think he's practicing yet. So we'll see what happens when he comes in. But that's going to be it for today's training camp recap. I think Gibson also said his toe is finally all healed up, so that's good to hear too. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yes, we will have all these training camps on time from now on. Got back late today. But tomorrow and the next few days I should have them out at my usual time. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, share the video out, and turn the post notifications on so you never miss a video. Peace.